Hi, Margot.
Hi, Manu.
Hi, how are you? So good to see both of you all together in one frame. Margot, it's such an honor to have you once again in a live conversation. Thank you so much for giving me all your time.
So great pleasure, Regina. Great, a lot of fun.
And I would like to begin by saying that opals, they are the birthstone of the month of October, and they are also known for their play of color. And do you guys know that the world's rarest, the world's most beautiful, and the world's most valuable opals, they come from Australia? And today, it's such an honor for me to have two generations of the McKinney family who are known in the family business for 136 years, and they craft one of a kind, magnificent jewelry with the best gemstones. So it's my honor to have Margot McKinney, who is a fourth generation family jeweler, and a nephew, Andrew, who is a fifth generation of family jeweler. And together, they will be talking to us about Australian opals. Andrew, my first question goes to you. How did you know that the world of gem and jewelry is a true calling? And also, how does it feel to take the legacy of 136 years ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. Renewable jewelry is really something that I've been around my
Mm-hmm.
whole life. It's funny, we have just been going through as a family uh, all of our photo albums, and there was this photo of myself as a toddler with a strand of pearls on. So I'm
Nice.
not sure I've done that, but it's always been a part of my life, jewelry, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Right.
So it just felt natural for me to enter into the business, and I've always had such a passion and love for gemstones and the jewelry industry. So it just felt like the natural next step for me.
Of course. And to have a legacy of 136 years and to have Margot as a mentor, I'm sure that it must be a wonderful experience.
Oh, most definitely. You know, Margot and
Right.
my grandfather, John McKinney,
Mm-hmm.
they've been incredible mentors for myself and people that I've really looked up to. So I'm very blessed.
Oh, and that's so nice to hear. So my best wishes and successful career to you ahead. So
Thank you.
now let's talk about opals. What do opals signify and why are Australian opals so popular?
Well, for a start, I love them because they are the October birthstone, and my birthday is in October. So
Oh,
I feel really happy to have opal as my birthstone. And being an iconic Australian gem, I've always gravitated towards designing with them.
mm-hmm.
And the thing that I really love about them is that they're very much like us, Renaud. No
Okay.
two are the same. So, it's you can get a diamond that's a carat and it's
Mm-hmm.
GS1 and it's excellent, excellent, excellent. And you can find another one and another one and another
Mm-hmm.
one. But
Mm.
every opal is totally unique, and
Right.
the plate color on every opal is just individual, and you will never find another one exactly the same. So
Right.
I find that intriguing and really exciting to design with. That
Mm-hmm.
each opal almost talks to me and sort of, says what to do with it.
Right.
And I think that it's that unique play of color and the excitement in each gem that I just find quite exhilarating.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that it's also the month of your birthday. So may I ask you that whether should we wish you belated birthday or it's a birthday coming up?
A belated birthday. It was my birthday on Monday.
Oh, belated happy birthday. I hope that you have the best year ahead.
Yeah, I was 61. So
Oh, you're young. You're 16. How lovely.
mm.
So moving on, tell us about the different types of opals.
Well, Australia is is famous for black opal, which is
Mm-hmm.
it's the most precious opal in the world. And black opal comes from a small place called Lightning Ridge, which is
Okay.
in northern New South Wales.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it is the rarest opal. and it's known for its really incredible play of colour and a variety of colours that are in the gemstones. It has a black background, which is why it's called black opal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's found in underground, so it's that's shaft mining. Whereas Boulder opal, which comes from Queensland, which is the state that Andrew and I live in,
Mm-hmm.
that's usually found in open mining, and the opal on Boulder opal, it sits on the host rock, so it sits on the ironstone.
Okay.
So, and the other third type of opal that's from Australia is predominantly from South Australia, and it's white opal. So
Mm-hmm.
it has a white background, and so they're the three different ones.
Right. What do you mean by play of color?
The play of colour is just the way that the colour is distributed amongst across the opal. So and it's amazing. You can get different matrix, and you can get big splashes of colour. You can get fiery bits of colour. You can have Boulder opal. I love the Boulder opal that is really blue and green. So that you get almost turquoise and a sort of an electric limey green together. They're just incredible. And then, and that ring has a beautiful piece of blue-green Boulder opal. In black opal, you get incredible flashes of brilliant red, and that's a very highly prized colour.
Okay.
And that will always, a piece of opal with very fine red flashes will always command a very high price. So it's that play of colour is the way that the colour is distributed across the opal.
Okay, that's fantastic. Can we see some of your lovely jewelry in opal?
Yes, would you like my earrings?
Yes. I always love whatever you wear. Always so classy and one of a kind statement pieces.
Thank you, Renu. Thank you. Love the earrings. I just finished them. I always make them with a detachable drop. So this one has a sapphire drop,
Okay.
and the hair has a savarite garnet drop.
Lovely. Margot, I have a question. How easy or difficult it is to get the identical shape, size, and the carat weight of the opal as we're seeing in this gorgeous pair of earring?
Well, it's very difficult. The one thing that it requires, Renu, is a lot of patience.
Okay.
Sometimes you can find one piece of opal that will cut into two pieces and create a pair, and that's quite interesting. And I have made a pair of earrings with many layers of opal, and I call them, and they were all cut from one piece of opal, and you can see the same seam of colour going through from the top opal down to the bottom opal. It's amazing. It's just a freak of nature. So
Can we see that if it's there around with you?
I don't have them here,
Okay.
unfortunately. So
No
I'll have
problem.
just a word picture of them.
Okay.
But otherwise one just has to be patient. And I don't get, as a designer, I don't get hung up about them being exactly matching, because they can't be. As we know, no two pieces are the same. So I love that they're different. I think that that's part of the character of them, and it's as the wearer of a pair of earrings with two different gems, there's something about you when you walk into a room as well.
Absolutely. You spoke to us about the mining of opal. So have you witnessed any mining procedure?
Yes, I've been fortunate to go out to Lightning Ridge in northern New South Wales, which really the only way to get there is to drive, and it's about a 10-hour drive. The last time I did it was when I was in the International Opal Jewellery Design Award when I was a finalist. The award was drawn and presented in Lightning Ridge. And my husband and I drove out there, and it's 10 hours each way, Renu.
Oh, wow, 10 hours each way. Mm-hmm.
And most opal mining is done in areas that are really desolate. I always find it quite incredible that the topography of the land and the landscape is really dry usually and desolate, and there's not much growing there. And then what comes out of the ground looks for all the world as though it was plucked from the sea with those colours. But in Lightning Ridge, it's a fascinating place. Opal miners are really quite a fascinating group of people. They don't talk much to each other about where they're mining or what they're finding because that's very highly protected.
Okay.
But they're all quite pioneering people. They're all really brave people. In the old days, there wasn't much. There weren't very many restrictions on how you could start a mine. So people would just dig down, and they wouldn't shore up their mine. They wouldn't. All they wanted to do was get down there and start mining to try to find opal. So unfortunately, in the old days, there were a lot of deaths. But now there are strict controls about how your mine is set up and from a safety perspective.
Okay.
So I've been down some amazing mines in Lightning Ridge with some really incredible people. And I have an old friend out there called Bob Barrett, and he's an amazing person. And I've learned a lot from Bob, and he's taken me down several mines and shown me, what they look for and exactly how it's done. And I just take my hat off to them. And if they find one fabulous gem a year, then that's a good year.
Lovely. And to my next question is to you. Have you witnessed open mining, or are you planning to witness it anytime soon?
Renu, unfortunately, I haven't yet. That's definitely something that's on the bucket list for sure. So hopefully in the next year or when we're able to travel, that's something I definitely look forward to.
And I would like to add on to that. I'm coming with you. Whenever you're making a plan, do let me know. I'm going to take a flight straight to Brisbane. Thank you. Margot, I have a question. Since you mentioned that you witnessed open mining, I would like to know that are all different kinds of opals found in one particular mine, or they're separate mines for each category of opals?
They're pretty much different mines in the three main opal mining areas of Australia produce different opals. So you really don't find you don't find Boulder opal in Lightning Ridge. It is very particular to the areas.
Okay. Since we've spoken so much about opals and the mining, can we see some more of your opal jewelry, please?
Absolutely. So the most important piece that I have ever put together is this extraordinary opal collar with very, very important pieces of black opal. So these are all pieces of black opal from Lightning Ridge.
Lovely.
And it took me about 10 years to put this together. It's a very, very important piece of opal jewelry. It's bound to be a family treasure and a family heirloom. The play of colour in each of these gemstones is really, really unique and absolutely beautiful, and each one of them is different. Now, surrounded with marquee and pear-shaped diamonds, and I've called it Constellation.
This is really stunning. And you mentioned it took you 10 years to gather these lovely opal pieces.
Yes. And it has a beautiful matching ring.
How gorgeous.
Thank you, Renu. Thank you.
Since you spoke about mining, how easy it is to like cut and polish opal?
Well, look, the skill that's required to cut and polish an opal is the same as a skill really to cut and polish any precious gem. It requires somebody who really understands the gem, but
Mm-hmm.
opals are particular because of the way that they're formed, and they require a very particular skill to as well. So and and a good cutter, as in any coloured gems, will really release all of the beauty in a
Mm-hmm.
gem.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always saying that cut is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's the skill of a cutter is always to maximize the size of the gem,
Right.
whilst including all of the beautiful parts of the gem.
Mm-hmm.
So it requires great skill, and there are very few very good opal cutters. We're fortunate to be in touch with the best opal cutters, and it
Mm-hmm.
makes a big difference.
Absolutely. Margot, I would like to ask you that how with the fancy color diamond, the cut is so important because the cut can also enhance the color of a diamond. So likewise, since opal also have the beautiful play of color, does a cut affect the entire play of color?
Yes, it does. You have to
Okay.
cut on the right axis. You have to get the right symmetry.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly with the black opal, you have to make sure that the way that it faces up
Mm-hmm.
is particularly, the cut will really influence how it faces up, and how when you move an opal, particularly a black opal, that is when you see that play of color. So
Okay.
that's when the skill of the cutter is really on show, so that when you move it, the axis that it's on, and so that the play of color is accentuated to its fullest.
Lovely to know. Andrew, have you witnessed the entire cutting procedure behind the wheels?
No, Renew. I think like visiting a mine, visiting a workroom where they cut opal is definitely high on my priority list at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it takes a lot of time to master being a
I'm sure.
gem cutter. So learning from those people and the skill that goes into really unlocking beauty in these rocks
Mm-hmm.
is something I'd love to see firsthand. So I can bring you along as well to that,
Oh, for
Renew.
sure. I'm coming with you, Andrew. Pleasure. What determines the value of opals?
All right. Well, again, I keep saying play of color. The play of color in black opal, it's the distinction of the color. So how pinpoint the color is. It's the um, the existence of red in a gemstone
Okay.
will always command more color. So it's how the color is distributed in the opal, but also the intensity of the color. And
Mm-hmm.
like every gem, a good one will talk to you, and a good one
Right.
worth more money. So when you look at a good opal, when you look at an opal with beautiful play of color, with
Mm-hmm.
intense bright color, that's a
Right.
valuable.
Lovely. Margot, I really want to see some of more of your jewelry with these fabulous opals.
Renew, we've just got this from the workroom. These have just come
Lovely.
from the workroom.
Nice. So we are the first one to see it.
So these display
Lovely.
the red that Margot was talking about previously,
Right.
very highly regarded.
Mm-hmm.
And
Beautiful.
I love using Australian gems together. So the combination of Australian opals with Australian pearls is something that I really
Right.
like to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're both Australian gems, but they're from completely different places. But they really marry well together.
How
And
sweet. That's such a fantastic way of saying that they really marry well together. The Australian pearls and the Australian opals. That's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Um, this is one I love to do this. So
Mm-hmm.
these
Oh.
are beautiful Boulder opal that
Mm-hmm.
I put into satin finished um, 18 karat gold settings, and
Beautiful.
they're so easy to wear, Renew. They're sort of
Mm-hmm.
sporty and casual,
Mm-hmm.
and they look great with a white blouse, or they look great
Right.
with, you know, dressed up. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the way um, that people like to wear jewelry now. It's not. It's we love very important pieces of jewelry. But I think that,
Absolutely.
even maybe more now, with what we've been through and what we're all going through now with COVID, that
Mm-hmm.
our lifestyles might have changed a little bit,
Yes.
and have more casual jewelry that you can dress up or dress down, I
Mm-hmm.
think is really important. And that's why I said all of my drops on the earrings are detachable, so that you get
Okay.
different all-in-one earring.
Right.
Um, with the opals, the golden one, with the opals, um, I love to accentuate
Lovely.
the colours in the opal with
Mm-hmm.
the gems that we use around the outside. So here I've picked up some goldy colours in the opal, and I've used
Beautiful.
yellow, orange sapphires around the edge of the opal, and some mandarin garnets. And then,
Right.
of course, these incredibly beautiful Australian South Sea pearl drops, which are
Mm-hmm.
detachable. Yeah.
Margot, in the previous earring which you showed us, I could see that they are a mismatched earring. They had both different shape of opal, and that was so unique.
Yeah, it's really I think it's one of my signatures.
What is your inspiration behind such fun creativity?
Um, I just I can quite often have gems in the vault for 5 or 6 or up to 10 years before I use them,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly I'll find that there's a match for a gem, or there's a pair of gems that might hang from a pair of opals for the perfect pair of earrings.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think that things, you just have to be patient, Renew.
Right.
If you're an impatient jewelry designer, then
Mm-hmm.
I think it shows, because
Right.
that's not how things are their best. So
Right.
it's really important to be patient and let nature take its course, and the right gems somehow gravitate towards each other. And quite often when I'm designing, and I'll put all the gemstones that I have at that time out on the desk in front of me, I'll you sort of see a picture, and gemstones will be drawn to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be able to design things that I didn't even have in my mind, just by looking at all of the gemstones together, because it's quite incredible sometimes what actually marries well with each other. Yeah. So it's quite often a surprise to me too, how things work out. And
Right.
I'll do that. I'll put the gemstones together, and do a little pencil drawing, and do that, and then always I'll leave it for the day, and go off and go for a walk, or have some dinner, go to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and the next day come back, and usually change it, usually tweak it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that it really takes time. It's a whole,
Of course.
designing is a process. It's
Mm-hmm.
and best done with a well rested mind.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think that comes with being a little bit older. I can't always say that I was patient. When I was younger, I was very
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
patient.
Right. So, Andrew, your favorite department that you're looking forward to handle in the family legacy?
Yeah, absolutely, renewable. I have been lucky enough to be involved in all aspects of Margot's business,
Mm-hmm.
whether it comes to stock control, design.
Right.
We've done a lot of traveling together, which I've immensely enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, being able to visit Neiman Marcus and Bergdorf Goodman in the US and get to see different retailing spaces throughout the world has been incredible experience. So I really look forward to my future in the jewelry industry, really furthering the business and furthering our online presence, especially at a time like this.
Right.
So I'm very much looking forward to my future for sure.
It's really incredible to have family in the business, really the meaning of it all.
What are you currently working on?
Well, in all honesty, what we're working on now is marketing. Coming up to the season of the year, we're coming up to the season of the year where we like give beautiful gifts to our loved ones, and we're just finishing off what we feel like the elves at Christmas. This is the time of the year when we're just finishing our pieces of jewelry off. And then we photograph them and video them and upload them to the website and send them off to Neiman Marcus and Bergdorf Goodman, have them in our flagship store in Brisbane, and we're going to produce a beautiful Christmas book. So that's what we're working on at the moment. So, being in the jewelry business is a if I can use this word, faceted, Renew.
For sure, Margot. There's so much to do.
I think sometimes people think that it's just sitting and designing jewelry all the time. It's not.
It's not. People think it's absolutely luxurious to be around expensive gems and to be wearing these jewelry. But there's so much of hard work and patience and labor that goes behind crafting each piece of jewelry.
It is. It is. There's a lot to it, and all with the end in sight is finding something that is exactly right for somebody. And when somebody acquires a beautiful piece of jewelry, being a part of that, and most jewelry is given as gifts and as a symbol of love, and that is really special to be a part of that and to be able to do that for people is really the meaning of it all for me.
So guide us through the care and maintenance of opal.
Well, opal and pearls, they don't love chemicals, so they don't like hairspray or perfume. So so always avoid that. If you were going, I would never suggest keeping opals or pearls in a vault for years and years and years. Any attention. And sometimes when you go into a jewelry store, you'll see a little tiny glass, like a shot glass of water, and we do it in our stores and in the windows, because, well, not so much these days, because lights in display showcases aren't as hot as they used to be. The lighting is better, but and you'll see, but in old showcases you'll see the water down quite quickly. So they like to be in humid environments, which means don't store them in a vault for years and years and years. Jewelry is meant to be worn. Just cleaning opal jewelry in water with a very soft cloth or a very soft toothbrush with some soapy water will clean it. And the same with pearls. But we always think that you have your jewelry professionally cleaned. With a jeweler you trust, and if you were in our vicinity, we would be very happy to clean jewelry. It's actually a great joy to clean jewelry, because people say, "Oh my gosh, is that what that looks like?" I've forgotten how beautiful it was. So it's very exciting. It's like giving somebody a gift when you clean their jewelry.
Do these gemstones appreciate over time?
The answer to that is absolutely yes. Fine quality gemstones always increase in value. These gemstones are very rare, and a fine gemstone that is difficult to find will always increase in value. Family, there will be something that will be able to be passed on in a family for other generations to love and appreciate. And the other thing that I love about fine gemstones is that, you know, as tastes change and as they go through generations, it's always able to be redesigned and reset.
Okay.
Great Aunt Martha's opal and diamond ring, and you don't love it, then there's absolutely no rule that says that you can't redesign it and turn it into a piece of jewelry that you love. And you can always do that when you've got good ingredients.
Oh, so Margot, I yet want to see some more of the jewels.
So here's a gorgeous Boulder opal ring in those blue, turquoisey blue and limey green colours that we love so much. Whenever an opal miner will present one of these gems to me, I always just say, yes, please, put my name. Because these are becoming very, very difficult to find fewer of them coming out of the ground. And they're just real treasures, especially in this size.
What size is that, Margot, if I may ask?
It's about 25 carats.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
Yes. This is a very pretty ring. So
Oh, that's so pretty. Yes.
Yeah, so you can see it's got really fabulous color in it. It's got some red in it. And again, we've accentuated the colors in the opal, in the gemstones around the opal. I love rings and cuffs. I love earrings too. I never go out without earrings on. But rings and cuffs, the wearer gets to appreciate as well. So you can always gaze down and look at those yourself. There's a really pretty heart-shaped ring, which we still have it here in February for Valentine's Day. I know.
Oh, how lovely!
Yeah, it just lends itself to making into a heart-shaped ring. So it's pretty.
That's really fantastic. And these are all one-of-a-kind, rare opals that you have procured over the years.
Yes. I mean, you absolutely. They all have to be one of a kind. You just can't, because you can't find the opal again. So it is by that very nature a one of a kind piece of jewelry.
How lovely! These are really fascinating. Nature gives us everything.
It does. Yes. Mother Nature is amazing. And when you look, you know, sometimes when I go for a walk in the morning, and we're so fortunate here where we live in Brisbane, this time of the year, it's a beautiful time of the year. Spring and autumn are just gorgeous here. And we have clear blue skies and these beautiful, you know, green trees, green palm trees and beautiful intensely green trees. And I think, oh my gosh, these blues and greens are all around us in nature and in the beautiful opals. So it's amazing. I think they're very calming colors.
Oh, what advice would you like to give to a young collector who's looking forward to build this collection?
I think always buy the best that you can, and always buy the finest quality that you can. I think it's easy to spend, you know, even, you know, sort of, it's easy to build up a collection of jewelry that might not be worth very much. I mean, even some costume jewelry is not inexpensive. My advice would be to start small, start with the best quality that you can afford.
Super. Andrew, what are you looking forward to start building your collection with?
Yeah, absolutely, Manu. I think I have always been around opal and pearl. So, you know, designing a line of kind of men's jewelry that lend itself to pearl
Nice.
is something that I'm definitely thinking about in the future. But at the moment, I'm enjoying playing with the things in the shop at the moment.
And I'm looking forward to seeing all your creativity very soon.
Yes, most definitely.
Your family has a legacy of 136 years. So, how has the jewelry aesthetic evolved over a period of time?
Well, I can't say that 136 years ago we were selling much jewelry here. If you know, my great grandfather came from Ireland in 1884
Mm-hmm.
and to find his fortune looking for gold. And as the story goes, he was on a train going to the goldfields, and the train stopped in a city that's 100 kilometres west of Brisbane called Toowoomba. He didn't know that the train was going to stop for as long as it did, so he got off the train and he thought that he would have a haircut, and which was wise as he was going to a goldfield and he didn't know when the next haircut might come along. So there was no barber shop in Toowoomba. So
Mm-hmm.
he stayed in Toowoomba and started a barber shop. So
Oh,
notwithstanding that he never cut anybody's hair before, and he was really very good, and the barber shop grew and was very successful, and it turned into a very successful retail store that sold all sorts of things. And when I was growing up with my sisters, Sally and Jane, we had it was an incredible department store, and we sold everything: um, food, boats, toys, all goods.
mm-hmm.
It was so much fun to grow up in that business. But always jewelry, and we sold beautiful pearls and pearl
Mm,
necklaces, earrings and rings, and sapphire, the very fine sapphires and rubies and emeralds, and very very fine jewelry.
lovely.
Um, that we still see people coming into the stores and having it, something that their grandmother might have bought from McKinney's. And so, the beautiful McKinney's jewelry has really stood the
Nice.
test of time, and still. So but I think people's taste in jewelry has evolved,
Mm-hmm.
and they're more adventurous, and um, people. But the reason for jewelry has never changed. The symbol of love,
Mm-hmm.
and when you have a piece of jewelry on and you walk into a room, the piece of jewelry says something about you,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that that's something that has always been the case.
And I must compliment you that whenever I've seen any of your content on your social media page, whether you're sitting and sketching something, wearing a piece of jewelry, there is something beautiful that speaks out from that picture. It's a beautiful grace that you have, Margot. That's something really so inspiring.
Really, that's very kind.
Andrew, next I would like to know from you that what are your aspirations and vision for future?
Yeah, Renu, I definitely look forward to the future, my future in the jewelry industry. At the start of the year, I went to Tucson in America and got to see everything that was available there.
Mm-hmm.
So buying gemstones and designing jewelry is definitely something that I see myself doing in the future. Um, a part of the industry that I really love, and I've been fortunate enough to be a part of incredible workshops, see some of the finest gems in the world. So I definitely want to continue on that legacy and keep moving forward.
Of course. And do you have any plans of coming to India, especially to Mumbai?
Renu, I actually in the GIA when I was there at the start of the year, I met some really incredible families from there
Mm-hmm.
and made some great friends. So I definitely will be coming to India as soon
Okay.
as possible.
Oh, for
We
sure. And you have to let me know. Both of y'all. Both of y'all. And both of y'all have to let me know. It will be such an honor to meet both of y'all in person.
definitely we will let you know, Renu.
And finally, Margot, I would like to ask you some piece of advice which has always been very close to you.
uh, well, um, uh, I think look out for wonderful opportunities. Um, some opportunities only come by but once, and I think that being aware and just keeping an eye out on what's going on around you and looking for opportunities is a thing that I like to think is important.
Right, absolutely. So Margot, there are many people wishing you a very belated happy birthday. There was there was a question asked, basically the difference between Australian and Ethiopian opal.
Oh, they're quite different. They're a different formation. They're found differently. They have a different. The specifications are different. So they are very different. Their play of color, their formation. Yes, yeah.
All right. And Andrew, any piece of advice which you have kept very close to your heart that you received from your family?
Renu, I think the biggest thing that I've learned from Margot and especially my grandfather John McKinney was that the client always has to be able to trust you. You have to trust your jeweler. So that's something that you have to build up over time. You have to build that relationship with someone. So I think trusting something that is really important to me. Upholding, ethics and making sure that you're really looking after your customer is really important to me and something that I've learned over time, most definitely.
So guys, in case if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask Margot directly, or you can also reach out to Andrew. And in case if you want to leave any questions behind to me, I will definitely reach out to Margot and Andrew and ask them the questions. So with that, Margot and Andrew, both of you all, I would like to take your leave and thank you so much for giving us your time. And I believe that you have someone recording the entire video in the background, one of your colleague, I believe, who's standing there and recording it. So a big thank you to him. Margot, and my best wishes to you, Andrew, for your upcoming career. And I'm looking forward to meeting both of you all in person.
Wonderful. Thank you very